Joining me outside the LSU locker room, Jacob Hester, Gordy Rush. Let me ask you, Jacob, it felt like a spring game. I mean, the atmosphere in Tiger Stadium. Tigers dominate. Statistically, we'll get to all that. But I got to believe that LSU fans are over 11 o'clock ball games.
Yeah, I think 3 of the last 6 have been 11 a.m., so they don't want to see any more of those on the schedule. But credit the team for coming out and being ready to play at 11 a.m. I mean, this is a team that finished the season ranked last year in Utah State. The crowd, was a little bit light, obviously, but they came out, they played hard, didn't really matter. And, two, look, you got Florida next week, so a lot of people, do they overlook Utah State for Florida? They didn't do that. They came out from the get-go.
Gordy, a lot of people were talking about this ball game. LSU was a 27-point favorite. They covered that. Jordan Love was getting a lot of love all weekend long about maybe a first-round draft pick. They held him to under 160 yards total offense.
Yeah, and I think defensively, obviously, defense played better. I thought Kerry Vincent Jr. had a really nice game at the nickel position. That was one place they had to get better. But I think overall, I think the staff took a look at what was going on in the body of work in the first 4 games, and they said, we're going so fast on offense, and we're putting our defense at a disadvantage. So what they do, they were very deliberate. They took their time, a lot of check with me's at the line of scrimmage. They went deep into the play clock. They ran the football. Time of possession to me was the big stat in this game, 41 minutes to 19. You can be a really good defense if you just got to play for 19 minutes, and I think that was huge.
What did you see, Jacob, over the last 2 weeks, either offense or defensively, that LSU obviously did different or implemented over that the off week?
Well, look what Gordy said on offense. They wanted to establish the running game. They got multiple running backs involved. We talked about it on LSU Game Day Live. Get some of those young guys involved. John Emery, Ty Davis-Price, they did that. Chris Curry got some carries as well because, you need that other guy to step up to be behind Clyde. Clyde had yet another good game there. So offensively, you like to see them run the football. Defensively, look, they were tackling. They were doing what they're supposed to do. Their run fits were right. You didn't see any busted run fits. And so they went back to the basics in the bye week and corrected all their mistakes.
Joe Burrow, not the best game he's ever played. He made a few mistakes. We had a fumble, had an interception. What did you see out of him? I mean, this was kind of the first one where he wasn't just phenomenal every play.
One of my questions about the open week, I thought the only negative was that this offense possibly got out of sync, right? Mm-hmm. But, then you ask yourself the question, by going slower and by going a little bit more deliberate, did you get this offense out of rhythm? And it's hard to tell, right, on a one-game sample. But, Burrow's a pro, and I have a lot of confidence in what this offense is doing. And this was exactly, I think, what they needed out of this game. Defense to build a little bit more confidence, and offense still put up 600 yards. If Burrow had a bad afternoon and you put up 600 yards on a team that won 11 games a year ago, you're pretty good.
Offensive line, they shuffled the deck a little bit. You saw some people get some new looks. From a running back perspective, what did you think of the offensive line?
I thought Derek Rosenthal came in, had some really nice blocks out there. Ed Ingram getting involved because we know Ed Ingram's going to be a starter on this football team when SEC play starts. So they got him more time just because he hasn't played football in a very long time. And so you're seeing some shuffle. Obviously, you want to get Sadiq Charles back as soon as you can because he is one of your best offensive linemen. But credit to the running backs for no matter what the shuffle is, they've had success because that can be tough. As a running back, when you don't really know who your 5 guys are, everybody blocks different and everybody has a different technique. And so the running backs have done a really good job of, creating that positive yardage, even though they don't really know who's going to be in front of them.
What did you think of Chasson? He's a guy who can be a difference maker, rushing the passer, and they're going to need him in the big games where teams are going to throw it a lot. From a health perspective, what did you think of his play?
I thought he looked good, and the hard thing in a game like this against Utah State or somebody that's going to go quick and the ball's coming out quick, you're not going to have a lot of sacks. But what he did bring to the table, that he was so disruptive, and you could just rush 4. And if you rush 4, that means you get the drop 7. And so LSU was able to play some different looks back there. He's huge. He brings a lot to the table for this defense.
Next week will be the Jacob Hester week, right? LSU, Florida, night game in Tiger Stadium. So Jacob will be doing a million interviews throughout the South. But no, the reality is it is a night game in Tiger Stadium. These fans have been waiting for this moment that they're going to get next week.
They really have, and they've also been waiting for Florida to come back to Baton Rouge. You've been in Gainesville 2 years in a row. The fans are going to be hydrated. They're going to be ready for this football game. You almost hope Florida beats Auburn today. That way it can be at an all-time high, and that game has all the hype that it can have around it. And so I look forward to a very different atmosphere in Tiger Stadium. I know the players are looking forward to a different atmosphere as far as all these 11 a.m. kicks, road or home games. They're difficult to get the fans involved as well.
Well, the fans, the ones that were there, saw good when LSU finally kind of pulled away in the second half and dominated this ball game. For Jacob Hester, Gordy Rush, I'm Ronnie Rantz. Let's go back to the studio.